Hello, guys. Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited having you again. When you talk of Africa, we respect our traditional rulers. We respect them because at one point or the other, they represent not just the rulership or traditional norms and culture, but in most places they look at them as gods. Their words hold so much power. And that's why there is a lot of castigation coming against Tinubu for his action against the Oni of Ife at Oniru coronation. It's actually mixed, I tell you, because some persons are against what he has done. They call it sacrilege, while others believe that since Tinubu is a senior to the Oni of Ife, he has the right to do what he did because the guy that's Oni of Ife is quite a young guy, so and he can just Tinubu can treat him just the way he did. But guess what? Different reactions are coming in, which we are going to be looking at in a jiffy. And the news have it that there seem to be divided views among some Yorubas over the action of the national leader of the All Progressive Congress APC, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, who was pictured sitting while greeting the Oni of Ife Oba Adeyeye Anitan Ogunwusi Ojaja II during coronation ceremony of Oba Oniru at the Iru Palace, Victoria Island on Sunday, the 6th of September 2020. However, it was gathered that Oni came in and was walking to his seat when he stopped to greet Tinubu, who was sitting on the same table with Oniru of Irulan, Oba Abdul Wazu Omogbo Lahan Lawal, Abisogun II. Some of the Yorubas on Twitter who kicked against the action of Tinubu says they expected him to have stood up if he could not prostrate as it is of the Yoruba tradition for greeting kings. Men prostrate while the women kneel down and he is addressed as Kabesi. While some have argued that it doesn't mean anything to sit and greet the Oni, others have this agrees, saying that it is a tradition and respect that must be accorded to the paramount ruler of Ife. Yinka Odumakin who is a PDP person, went on Twitter and according to him, he said, "We are still Yoruba people." Yinka is of Afenifere, sorry, Afenifere. He said, "We are still Yoruba people. With due respect to our royal fathers, we should not say because we are in modern age, we should not give the proper respect that we give to our Oba. You saw the time former Obasanjo prostrated before the Oni, so it is still our culture, and we must sustain our culture and give the respect that is due to our monarchs." Femi Fani-Kayode also wrote, and I quote, he said that the Asiwaju refused to stand up to greet the Oni of Ife speaks volume. This was not only deeply insulting to every Ife, and indeed sons and daughters of Odua, but it is also a crying shame. Would a northern political leader refuse to stand up for his traditional ruler? Another person here says, "So you are expecting Tinubu to prostrate to him like Davido? So what?" Let me tell you live and direct. Oni of Ife did not stand up to greet Tinubu. He entered in the middle of the program and he was going to have his seat beside Tinubu. Another Twitter user also wrote, he said, "In my opinion, Oni didn't attend the event as a king, but as an investor from Ife. Hence the insults from the landowner. Ilu Estate and Eco Atlantic are in the dangling fruits for Oni. Why did a whole Onirisa attend Oniru's coronation?" Another one here of still Yoruba origin, what Oyobami says, "Oni walked to Tinubu to greet him, abeg. It's a non-issue. Tinubu is bigger than the Oni. You people should rest. Next time, Oni should prostrate to Osiwaju. No, this is quite insulting. I don't know if this person is of Yoruba origin, because how would you, in no matter how small the Oni of Ife is, you don't expect him to prostrate and greet as Siwaju Bola Tinubu? That is totally wrong. Totally wrong. In any culture, a king cannot prostrate and greet an ordinary politician. Is it because of money? This is I'm so disappointed in this young man if he's a Yoruba man. So insulting. Another one here says, in Yoruba culture, the Oni is not a king per se. The Oni is considered a deity. He is the spiritual leader of all Yoruba people the world over. Tinubu's action, not only impolitic, it is sacrilege, a desecration. I hope he'll make atonement for that. And another person here says, Oni is the first traditional ruler in Yoruba land. Tinubu refusing to stand up to greet Oni is a total disrespect to the whole of Yoruba land. Even high-ranking kings stand to greet Oni. Another Twitter handler here says, Tinubu couldn't prostrate for the Oni of Ife. Haha. Watch how Africans has destroyed our sacred traditional values because of politics and power. I tell you the truth. And this one here say Obasanjo can decide to prostrate to Oni, but we should ask ourselves, is Obasanjo a Jagabam? Obviously no. Obviously no. Tinubu is older than Oni in age, and Yoruba culture to recognize position of age in tradition. Beside Obasanjo, only choose which monarch to respect based on religion. A lot of reactions coming in, but I tell you the whole truth. We must learn to give respect to who deserves respect. Now, this has nothing to do with age. I tell you, these are some of the things that people should understand. This has nothing to do with age. When we are looking at the office now, do you want to tell me that because of the fact that you're an elderly person and you walk into a church and you see the pastor, a young man, and he comes out and people stand out to applaud him, you refuse to stand up because you say, me, I'm older than him now? Or maybe let's go leave that. Let's even enter the political war. The president, for example, France's president, a young guy of 39 years, yeah, now he has grown. Okay, when he was 39, he walks into his office or walk into a particular environment, and then people see him and they just cross their legs and just say hi to him. It's obviously wrong. We are not giving respect to the age of the person sitting on the throne, but we are giving respect to the throne itself. It has to do with the office. It has a lot to do with the office. It has nothing to do with the person. Even if it's a 2-year-old boy, if you go through the Bible days and see how kings were treated, we see people who even pay homage to the king and people who respected the king. Some of them were far older, but they respected the word of the king. Oni of Ife is not just any kind of office that someone should be playing games with. It's totally, for me, I feel that it's totally wrong to undermine our traditional rulers or look down on our custom and tradition. This is still Africa. And, these are some of the things that we must, allow to still be there so that we can show that we are different from the white guys. The white man, no element of racism, but they have their own culture. We also have our culture. We must not allow, because of the fact that we are monetarily blessed, or maybe because we are involved in politics and we control a lot of superior people, we feel that we should disrespect our tradition. It's totally wrong. There are things that we shouldn't even go there. If you look at the caliber of persons that have responded to this issue, for example, Odumakin, that's a grown guy, in Afenifere, and they understand what it means. Even Femi Fani Kayode, who at one time or the other, you see him talking anyhow. When it comes to the issue of monarchs, you see that they respect them. And that's why monarchs shouldn't be trading their position. Anyone who is in that position as a monarch must be well trained, whereby you come to a point where you realize that you shouldn't be getting involved in partisan politics. You shouldn't be involved in anything like politics. You stay very clear away from it. Whenever they come in to seek your blessing or anything, what you go straight to is, man, this is what I want and this is what and guess what? This may go an extra mile in affecting the level of influence of Jagabam in the Yoruba in Southwest. Because if you can disrespect the Oni of Ife by sitting down to greet him, then you are trying to call for something that you may not be able to stand. Because after a while, for some who respect the culture of the tradition and the custom of Yoruba land, they may undermine him and they may just feel that he doesn't deserve their own respect. In as much as you cannot respect our culture and tradition, which all of us were born to respect, then you don't deserve our respect. If you see what normally happens if a Yoruba man sees an elderly man who is of Yoruba tradition, you see that they genuflect, they go down on they bend down or they lie down and they greet such people. That's how it should be. But however, I would like to leave it. They go to our comment section. Let's interact. What do you think? Are you against are you for or against? That's a for that Tinubu. It's okay for Tinubu to sit down and extend hands of greeting to Oni of Ife, or do you feel that it was totally wrong against the custom of our own people? Let's interact.